going on, y'all? This is the Caveman. I'm here with Football with Oz, Austin, and a very special guest for episode 114 of Against the Blitz. And we're continuing our our summit series that we do, where we go through the very controversial positions and give our own spin on the rankings of these positions. And we did it last year. We're doing it again this year. By the time this is out, you'll have seen our receiver episode. So now we're following up with the running backs, and we have a very special guest joining us again. And today we have Blaiden Kirk, the Stay Hot host himself. Blaiden, we want to thank you very much so for joining us. This is going to be a really good time.
I'm excited. Thank you guys for having me. Shout out Matt and Theo over at Stay Hot. I see you guys are having them on as well for this series. So, yeah, you're going to get the full breadth of us, man.
It's going to be cool because a lot of your guys' – because I listen to you guys, and a lot of the – I tried not to listen to the stuff you've been doing a little bit lately because it is kind of, falling in the same vein. Yes. So I've been trying to stay away so everything is fresh for me so I can react in real time. So it's going to be fun to run through the running backs because I feel like after your, top 7 or so, Austin and I were talking pre-show, you kind of get into some very gray area with a few guys. And there was another list floating around from Greg Rosenthal, I think, that was catching some shit for the way that was ranked. But if you guys don't know Blaiden by some miracle, he is one of 3 Stay Hot hosts. So go check out all of his own content, which will be linked down below, as well as Stay Hot's content. Highly, highly, highly recommend the Stay Hot podcast. So we're going to get right into it. And I'm going to start by asking a question that isn't even running back related because this has been making the rounds. Even Robert Saleh asked this question, I think today or yesterday. Would you rather go through an entire season having no injuries or no turnovers? This has started a big discourse in the Twitterverse. Blaiden, what would you say?
See, I feel like that implies that neither of those are your choice, that you have no control in either of those areas. And the question I think that needs to be asked is, which do you have more control over? And I think the answer is, I assume this is from like a quarterback's perspective.
Your entire team.
It's just as a coach,
as a
team.
Oh,
yeah,
as
as a whole team, no turnovers.
Yeah. As a whole team. Okay, I'm thinking from like an individual player. I'm like, you can control both of those, I feel like, to some degree. But as a team, I also feel like you can control those to some extent, at least the injuries more so. If you're taking care of players' bodies, if you've got the right training staff, I feel like you can do that to some degree. Like, you have a little bit of control there. Turnovers, I think, are more volatile. I feel like if I had to pick one to like completely take off my hands, I don't even have to worry about it. I feel like I would pick turnovers.
That was Saleh's answer. Austin, what would you say?
I mean, Joe Burrow's my quarterback, so like I think I would do anything in my power to never see him hold his lower body ever again. So I think that's like comfortably my answer, but I don't know. Like if I had a quarterback that threw like 10 plus interceptions every year and we lost multiple games to fumbling, I like most certainly would pick turnovers.
It's an interesting question because I feel like there are so many circumstances as a Bills fan where I could think of injuries biting us in the backside, but also just some stupid ass decisions on Josh's part as far as turnovers go. So it's like we've lost in so many sick and twisted ways that it's hard for me to kind of choose. But I do think I'd go injuries, just for the sheer fact that I look back, like last year, even not even Bills, like the Broncos would probably have been in the Super Bowl without having Bo Nix break his foot randomly. And I think we've seen the best version of the Ravens get taken down by Lamar and his own injuries. So, and turnovers.
Yeah, that
turnovers. So I guess it goes both ways. I don't know. But Robert Saleh said turnovers like definitively, which I found fascinating.
I think he's right. I think turnovers are harder to control from a team perspective than injuries are. So, I think Saleh's got the right take there.
Yeah, I think I think it's hard to lose a game. It's hard to lose many games if you're going throughout the course of the season winning the turnover battle every week.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine like the not long time, but multiple time head coach of the Jets would most certainly limit turnovers. Like I think he'd be fine if he lost a quarterback here and there, but if if they just kept turning the ball over like they did, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, the Jets.
As a coach, you're sitting there like, I can't do anything.
No.
Right.
Stop turning the ball over.
Right. They're next man up mentality. They're as much as that as it gets. So as long as we just don't turn the ball over the way that Zach Wilson was that year, then the Jets were probably a playoff team. That was, what, 20...
Good Lord,
20,
yeah.
What year was that? That was the year they beat the Chiefs, right? Early in the season. Did they beat...
That was the Zach Wilson game.
Didn't they almost beat the Jets? They beat the Chiefs. They did beat them, right?
I think they did, but like I don't know if they were were they ever knocking on that door?
I feel like it was kind of close because I also remember a game against the Dolphins where they threw a Hail Mary and then the Dolphins returned like a 105-yard pick six or something like that. I think that was that same season. Yeah. But anyway, that was a question that I found taking the rounds, and I felt like it was fascinating enough to ask. But we'll get into the running back conversation. And I wanted to start with the negative. We're going to start with the overrated guys. And we came prepared with a couple guys on the top of our heads here. And Austin, I know Austin is usually, he's always, we kind of talked about it, we laugh about it, he's always very kind and soft and nice to players. So
I'm not soft, I'm tough, man.
I like to hear when he gets mean sometimes.
Yes. These aren't even mean to them. This is mean to like
he's got to soften it up.
No,
already.
Listen, like I think my hatred towards the running back position is a hatred towards the fantasy community and how we treat running back because of that. So that's where I think my Chase Brown overratedness comes from. Because Chase Brown is like a really cool fantasy running back and he gets, X amount of receptions per game. He's kind of reliable that way, but like I just like for someone that's not like eligible to get any kind of like power running, he also doesn't really create for himself like ever. It's usually like first tackle attempt kind of gets him down. Pretty limited amount of big runs for a guy that's more speed and quickness based. And he's just so inconsistent from a day-to-day basis that like for how much people love him as like a fantasy guy, I really don't think he's even an above average running back for the league.
Mr. Bengals fan.
I love all the other guys. I love the guy, but like, I would take a lot of running backs over him, I think.
See, I feel like if we're talking above average, like where is the median here, right?
I was thinking like 16, like literally like the average of starters.
Sure, but how many teams have two?
Yeah.
Like maybe the median's closer to 20 or 22. I think it's fair to say he's like a top 20-ish back.
I think he could ride that border.
So like
he could.
To me, that's like average to above average. But I agree with you that he's not like a top 10 back, or like we're gonna do a top 12 at some point here. I wouldn't put him in my top 12.
No. I like even like when like some of the names I was pondering, I started getting to like Rico Dowdle and like all those. I was like, ugh. Like it was like a genuine question for me which one I would take. So it's like I don't even know if I would take him top 20, sadly. I love the guy.
Are you
I
serious?
love the guy. Yeah.
No way.
I think
off
just
the top of my head, he's probably top 20, but like
yeah.
If I'm making my list out to 20, maybe he wouldn't, but like I think he probably would.
He's got to be. He's
cool. I think he just benefits so much.
Good running backs in the league.
I think he just benefits so much from the offense being so spread out. And a heavy pass rush, like he just gets he gets what's available, and then usually just kind of goes down. Like there's limited big plays, there's limited like consistency on short runs. It's just like it's just not for me.
Wow.
And I love the guy personally. I love the character. I love the Chase Brown that is the human. The running back, not as much.
I feel like I went into this kind of I would have had him probably in the same bucket, but I felt like the more I looked into, at least we haven't watched these guys for a couple months, so I had to go and watch a little bit of them to refresh my mind. Yeah. And I felt like compared to like, to me, a guy like Breece Hall, who you mentioned pre-show, gets the overrated tag, and I wouldn't put that on him, but I felt like Chase Brown was a little bit harder to bring down than Breece. Like, I felt like Breece was the guy where the second even someone in the secondary gets his hands on him, he's just getting tossed to the ground. Like, he's fast, he'll hit a hole, he's a bit elusive, but I don't strike him as the player that is throwing guys off of his shoulder in the backfield, or really breaking through arm tackles as much as Chase was, for what I feel like I remember. But to say he's not even top 20,
I don't know.
I feel like there's just not that many good backs in the league. Like, then we get to like the top 25, like then you're getting to like Tyrone Tracy territory. And it's like you're gonna put him next to like Tyrone Tracy. Like, I don't know.
Would you rather have Chase Brown or Blake Corum?
Chase Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not that far down.
I want to establish a line.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, now we got to keep pushing it until he says no.
Jalen Warren.
I think I'd take Warren.
Okay.
But I've seen him like destroy us on like every occasion.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
Javonte Williams.
I think I'd take Javonte.
Tony Pollard.
Oh God, no. Yeah, I'm taking Chase Brown.
All right, good. You have boundaries.
Yeah, I have standards here.
I'd rather have Blake Corum than Tony Pollard.
I think I would too. I think I would
Blake Corum's
too.
good.
Blake Corum's nice. He's a good blocker, and he's another guy that can get what's there, man. Physical. Yeah, I like Corum a lot. He might be in my underrated category, but
Yeah?
shit.
That could be fair.
Oh shucks.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
But again, it's underrated compared to like he runs on the same team as Kyron Williams, who might be a little bit overrated.
You're taking on my thunder. We haven't even gotten there yet. It's like verbatim my whole script. That's like half my agenda here. Yes. I was gonna set that up.
Cave's gonna be so quiet this episode. It's gonna be so...
Well, I'm glad you say that, but before we get to it, if you have an overrated back, Blaiden, you wanted to start with, it sounds like there might be a name on the tip of your tongue.
There might be, but I'll save Kyron for you. I'll let you have your spiel. I'll throw Christian McCaffrey in the mix, who I was pretty high on in like the Offensive Player of the Year MVP race towards last year because he was carrying such a large workload for that 49ers offense. And it is clear, and we talked about this on Stay Hot, it's clear that he still has a lot of the high-end skill sets, right? Like as his foot speed, as a mover, he's still very, very good. But as an athlete, it's very clear that the injuries have sort of sapped him at this point. The age is starting to catch up with him a little bit. And looking back, the lack of explosiveness, the lack of tackle-breaking ability that there used to be, it does make me worried about just how much longer of Christian McCaffrey do we have. He's still a great route runner, right? He can still make people miss because he is still pretty shifty, but I do not think of him as, he's still kind of considered a top 5, definitely still considered a top 10 running back by most, but he's kind of just outside of that for me.
Yeah, that's very fair to say.
Yeah, he was the other name I had written down that I was prepared to talk about because, like kind of like you said, like I think CMC, the football player, is still a good football player because he can do so much. But CMC, like the runner, like ball in hand, the athleticism is just dwindled. He's never been that big of a guy to begin with, so the power was never even that there. And he's still one of the greatest technicians of the position we've ever seen, and he still has it. He still has the foot speed. He still has the footwork and the hands and the route running. It's just the movement ability is just half of what it used to be. So he can still get production because he's so talented, but
he was like the least efficient back in football last year.
It was
right.
Really bad. It was really bad.
3.8 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's like I'm sorry you're not putting that on most teams and starting, honestly.
No.
He would start because he's like this great route runner and he can do a lot still for you. And that's why he continues to be so productive in San Francisco, in part because they had so many injuries that it's like force-feeding Chris McCaffrey, the one guy who's healthy, which is odd for his career, honestly. So it's like it's no shock that he got the volume of stats that he did. And I do think there is still some merit to him deserving some votes in the awards, because to be able to give someone that kind of a volume is like there is some value there, but I think as a pure talent at this point, it is a pretty steep drop off when you've got guys like Ken Walker and Achan and Derrick Henry still is like they're kind of in a similar age range, right? And Derrick Henry is still a premier athlete with breakaway speed. You saw the second half of the year; he was like maybe the best running back in football, right? Mm-hmm. So and McCaffrey just at no point last year was that.
Yeah, I agree, and it almost is an interesting line to try to read between, because to some degree you look at what McCaffrey can do and what he does for Shanahan's offense, and it's usually regarded as, wow, without McCaffrey, Shanahan's offense probably isn't what it is. Like, you can't unlock Shanahan's offense without the matchups that McCaffrey gives you. That's kind of the whole, like, bread and butter thing that goes on. But the same thing can be said about McCaffrey. It's like, if it's not for Shanahan, then at this point, how many teams are deploying him properly to make him, what is still one of the best running backs in football? Like, I don't know if you could throw him in many other backfields right now and get nearly as much out of him. And as much as that's a positive, it's also kind of a negative. So we talk about like system quarterbacks and all of that garbage. It's like, to some degree, like, you can probably argue he's a bit of a system running back because of the way Shanahan but the way Shanahan uses him. It's like, yeah, it's not even meant to be a negative per se, but to some extent, it's like, I don't think you're throwing him in Tennessee, or you're throwing him in, like,
not many people.
I don't know.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I guess. I just looked over and I saw Tony Pollard on my screen again, so it came to my mind. But you get what I mean.
Is Tony Pollard on your list of guys to talk about?
No, I just have this very long list of running backs, and on PFR, when you click on one, it's purple. So when the last one you clicked, it goes purple, and for some reason that's what my eyes caught. Yes, it is Tony Pollard.
I don't even trust. I'm not even looking at Tony Pollard. He's not on my radar at all.
He's not even he's not even rated anymore.
I not get mentioned.
No.
Poor guy. Well, this will be how he gets. This is the degree of his mentioning.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, my first overrated back is definitely Kyren Williams, and this is a take that I feel like I'm the Game of Thrones gif where he's taking the sword
Jon
out.
Snow with
Jon Snow.
yeah.
I didn't watch the show, but yeah, that famous gif where I have to pull my sword out and I got the horde of people charging at me. That's how I feel whenever I say something like this about Kyren, and it just all revolves around what kind of athlete he is. Like, he just is not fast. He doesn't have like the acceleration. Like, there's just no home run hitting ability whatsoever. And yeah, he does a good job on third downs. He's a good blocker, but outside of that, he's not catching the football at all. Like, there's no route running, receiving ability here. He's good on the goal line, decent in short yardage, but even still, does the combination of what people claim is like really good vision and good blocking or being a decent third down back, which I still feel like is blown out of proportion. Is that enough to keep him like afloat in these top 10 conversations when we're seeing guys come into the league that are, double the runners that he is, but also they're able to be an element in the passing game? And I mean, he's literally, I don't want to say a net negative, but there is zero threat. Like, you're not walking on the field as a linebacker and being like, fuck, I gotta cover Kyren Williams in man coverage right now. Like, you're just not worried about it. And a guy like Corum, I think they have started to like and use so much is because there is some of that upside as far as being able to, pop a big one off or get to the outside. And it's a good yin and yang right now, but I feel like to some capacity next year we'll start to see it become more of a 50-50 split because Kyren is just kind of a bowling ball, like, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to me he's kind of a worse version of what James Cook is. James Cook has great vision. James Cook is great on these third down plays, but James Cook was also the NFL's leading rusher last year on over 5 yards a carry and had a ton of touchdowns and is like he's not like a super productive receiver either, but I feel like James Cook is much more prone to breaking off long runs. James Cook is an exceptional tackle breaker, always fighting for extra yards. And I'm like, I feel like those guys are kind of talked about in different ways right now. Like I put James Cook more in conversations of top 5, even though I have him in my top 10, but he's like kind of lower on my top 10. But I feel like he would be closer to in a top 5 conversation than Kyren would be to in a top 10 conversation for me.
Mm. Yeah, I think Kyron's hard because he's the kind of running back I've always appreciated as someone that isn't that athletic. To see someone else succeed that isn't that athletic at the running back position, it's awesome because I do think he has really good vision. And I think that he understands the running back position really well. It's just like, what kind of upside can you get when he's just not generating anything outside of those short 4 to 5 yard runs? I mean, I can't remember the exact stat, but I just remember last year, like the lack of 20-yard runs that he had compared to everyone else that's kind of in his ranking zone was significantly less. And like you said, he's not much of a threat as a receiver as you would like of someone of his stature. Not a huge big play threat. Ball security's been even a little bit of an issue over his career in really big moments, especially. So I think he's very talented. I still really like the running back, but I think if you're ranking him near James Cook, then that would be a problem for me.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about like breakaway runs. PFF has runs of over 15 yards as breakaways, and Kyren Williams is 43rd. James Cook is 21st. David Montgomery is 20th. Jalen Warren's 18th. Blake Corum is 14th. Like, it's a very big difference between some of these other guys. J.K. Dobbins, who is like notoriously sapped into athleticism, but still is an efficient guy when he's out there, can be a 5, 6, 7 yard runner, is 8th in breakaway rate. Right now, given lower sample size with Dobbins, but still, like, I think it's notable that Kyren is so much lower on this list than pretty much everyone else. I mean, I'll even throw, like, he's down there with McCaffrey, he's down there with Algier, he's down there with Rashad White, Alvin Kamara.
Cooked. We call those guys cooked. Those guys are cooked to shit.
Cooked and washed. Now, to be entirely fair, because I imagine we'll talk about somebody else here, is Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty is also down there at 40th. But we can account for situation, and we can understand that offensive line was putrid last year, that there were no rushing lanes whatsoever, and they have no passing game either, so there's no balance of pass versus run. There's no balance in scheme. Coaching was terrible. Like, everything was a disaster in Vegas last year. So we give Genty a pass.
Yes.
He's
well,
like
I think
the only name when looking at the same
Polar
thing
Bear
is like
Arlington, Texas.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is that Corum is on there, and you said he's 14th ranked. So it's like it can't even be a situation. It can't be offensive line. It can't be the scheme. They're very similarly built players. They're relatively similar athletes, and just for whatever reason, Kyren just can't find himself in open grass, and he can't do anything once he gets there.
The whole thing when they drafted Corum is like, oh my God, it's Kyren 2.0. Sean McVay has his flavor. He has his type. It's the same guy.
Kyren's returning punts. Here comes Corum.
Yes, okay, that was hilarious. I forgot about that.
Yes.
I mean, we're getting. You can throw him in. Let Corum do it. Yeah, Kyren can, catch some punts. I'm cool.
But
with
Kyren
that.
he is 8th in runs of 10 or more yards. So. So we can get to 11.
He was like shockingly efficient. Like he was.
He's pretty efficient. He is.
Yeah, he had like 4.8 yards a carry, which is a lot more than I thought. Like I thought that he was like a CMC season where it was just volume to production, but he did pretty well with himself. Just nothing big.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you kind of got to, like, as a running back, to be one of the guys considered in the top 10 or top 8, you got to have like a calling card, and he doesn't. He's just fine. He's just a well-rounded back that you're happy with, and that's fine. It's just when these conversations start, I feel like his name is thrown in the ring as one of the first, even to a degree of underrated. I've seen people, talk about him in that, and maybe because of people like me, that's why. But it's like, I don't know. Like, there are just so many backs that I feel like provide a similar, I won't say skill set, but a similar value to Kyren that just do not get put in conversations like this, just because statistically speaking they don't have the numbers. It's like if you gave Kyren like 100-ish less carries, like, you just wouldn't have these conversations at all, because he wouldn't have 1,200 yards to be forced into these conversations. So there just wouldn't be anything. It'd be like, okay, nice, he had like 800 yards, but he might get thrown into the underrated talks, but no one's going to be sitting here and saying, oh my God, Kyren Williams, someone give that man 305 carries. Like, who says that? Apparently Sean McVay. So apparently fucking Sean McVay says that. So.
And they were very close to being a Super Bowl team last year.
So. Yeah. That is true. Do either of you guys have another overrated back that you felt like you had to get off your chest?
I just had Chase Brown and CMC on my list, but
yeah, Kyren was my other big one.
This is a safe space.
What?
This is a safe space, you could say.
A safe space. I don't know if I think Bucky Irving is underrated or overrated right now. And my thing is I do try and be conscious of where they actually are in the public space, in the public eye.
Yeah.
And my esteemed co-host Matthew Spinauer, big Bucky Irving guy, was a big Bucky Irving guy coming out of college, and in his rookie year, very vindicated. But obviously a less successful sophomore season, and I don't. It's hard to get a gauge on where he is right now in kind of the public sphere. I feel like people would still have him outside of the top 10, which I think is correct, but I don't think people have him so low that I feel the need to call him under or over. He might just be properly rated right now. I don't know.
I think he could be. Even if he's in that, like, just maybe slightly below Kyren range or near Kyren range, I think that's appropriate.
He's in Kyren's tier, I think.
Yeah.
And I might prefer Bucky, honestly. So, like, I guess that makes him like top 15, which I don't know if I would call that under or overrated. I really don't. I think that's right where I would put him. Like, if some people are putting him in the top 10, he's overrated, I think.
Yeah.
If people are putting him outside the top 20, definitely underrated.
Yeah. I mean, you had your top 10s last year, 100% after his rookie season. You were having a lot of, like, top 10, top 8 rankings I was seeing everywhere, which was...
I think that was fair after a very good rookie season, but... Currently,
I think I had him like 6th. No, after last year. Yeah, this year, no, I didn't.
He's just
think
crying.
About him,
yeah,
but
right. It's I don't know. That's just another guy that I've been thinking about. I'm trying to pull up where we had him ranked last year. We had Bucky at 8. Yeah. And I had him right at 10. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's fallen a little bit for me, but I think right around that 12 to 16 range is probably fair.
Yeah.
Which is in the same tier as Kyren for me, but Kyren gets a lot of that lower top 10 talk that he's definitely top 8, bro.
yes.
Bucky just doesn't get that right now because he didn't have the season, obviously.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Bucky's interesting because I feel like to some degree you can shrug off like the shoulder injury stuff, and it's like, okay, he was dealing with all of that, and okay, he can come back this year and he'll be all right. But I don't know what happened. I don't think anybody does, but the degree of like the mental state he was in also. So there's also that whole thing going on. It's like he's just not there physically. He's not there mentally. Like the running back he was in his rookie season was one of the toughest players in the league to tackle, and I just don't know if I can confidently sit here and say that he'll ever be that player again, just given the context of everything we've been given. Like there was a report like 2 weeks ago that said something along the lines of Bucky could be ready by, summer, early fall. It's like early fall. This guy's still hurt. Yeah. Like what are we doing here? It's like it makes it very difficult to gauge how we should feel about him. And like you said, no one has a good pulse on Bucky Irving right now.
No, it's hard to feel that out. Kind of like Malik Neighbors too. I don't know if you guys talked about that in your receiver episode a ton. I asked my physical therapist because I'm recovering from an ACL tear.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he was like, I'm going to keep it real with you. Neighbors is off my fantasy board entirely. I'm like, what? I'm like,
damn.
Really? He's like, look, sometimes people will say, like, oh, they're just cleaning out scar tissue, when really they partially tore their meniscus. And they're trying to, because it's like the same procedure, and they can say that's what they're doing because that is kind of what they're doing, but the meniscus is weaker. So, like, he's like, not saying that is what happened, but maybe.
Yeah. That's scary because I right after the season ended, I traded Amon-Ra for Neighbors. Like, I'll try and trade the slightly older guy for a potential top 5 receiver in the league already. Look at me go.
If he's back, well, I mean he could still be back by week 1 is what they're saying. But and if he's back at 100%, he'll be fine. Yeah, I have no problems.
I hope so, and the Giants better hope so because they didn't draft a receiver other than Malachi fucking Fields. And who else? They brought in Calvin Austin.
Yeah, they got Darnell Mooney. He's going to be a starter. That's going to be fun. Yeah.
He cooked Jalen Ramsey like 8 years ago. I have no idea when that was actually.
He's fresh out of Tulane at the time.
2020. Yeah.
Yes. There was no fans in the stands. I almost remember it. Yeah.
He made that catch against Minnesota also, that one-handed catch.
Yes.
That put him on the map also.
The 2 Darnell Mooney highlights.
Yes, the 2.
Literally. And then the Chicago fan base ran him out of town because I guess he didn't try.
Yeah, he got like Deontay Johnson. Yeah, he's out.
He really did. Well, let's move into the underrated backs that we could talk about. And Blaiden, if Blake Corum's on your list, then you can take the other Rams back if he's here. Because I have another guy I can talk about also.
I have some other guys I can talk about. I'll start with Genty. That's the guy that I think is really underrated right now. When I look at this Raiders situation, it was a complete disaster last year. But if you watch Genty specifically, right? Take your eyes off of Pro Football Reference. Get away from Pro Football. Get away from all these stat sites. All right. Go turn on some Ashton Genty film, and watch how he's bouncing off of tackles. Watch how he keeps his legs churning through contact. It's a lot of the same stuff we saw in college. You see this insane level of contact balance where he's able to use tacklers, lean into them, and bounce off. I'm like, no one's doing that. And he's doing it in the NFL level, except now he's got 4 guys on him because no one can block. Like, no one's going to be efficient in this offense. So I watch the way Genty's operating. I watch his movement skills, his athleticism, his explosiveness, his power. It's all there. Like, all of that stuff is very clearly translating. I think he is still, like, I had him as a top 10 running back coming into the league as a rookie. I still feel exactly the same about him, even though his production was not up to snuff, up to where people wanted it to be as a rookie.
Yeah, he was like the not his fault running back by far. Yeah. And like even though they've only made like maybe one upgrade to the offensive line, even just one, it makes you feel so much better. Like, you bring in an actually intelligent like running scheme coach in Kubiak,
it's more Kubiak than necessarily Linderbaum. Linderbaum, I think, is a great addition.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a key part for that Ravens run game for so long. It makes me a little bit worried for what their run game will look like this year in Baltimore without Linderbaum, because it's helped Lamar be able to kind of sneak through those A-gaps a little bit, get downhill quickly. It's helped Derrick Henry, of course. I think that'll be great for Genty. and I think it'll be great for this Raiders offense in general. But Kubiak's the guy that you're really excited about. I mean, what he was able to accomplish last season was just so special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of felt like even like Ken Walker's always been a very talented running back, but it even felt like he was stuck in the exact same spot for so long. Like efficiency wise, even like tape wise, like it just felt like he was doing the exact same thing with no like real results for a long time until he got there. So like even the idea of that and getting Tyler Linderbaum, even though they paid him like a quarterback, like just to bring him in it makes me feel so good about it.
Yeah, I think he's a very I mean he's gonna also be my breakout candidate.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had him in a different category that I might need to find a new one in the next however many minutes.
He's just awesome, man. He's super special.
Yeah, I think it's just all about expectation. It's just people put these unfair, just unrealistic, ideas of what these players should be in their minds, and it completely ruins a rookie season for a player, or it just completely ruins what the perception of them is. And I've not always been on Genty's side as from like a Heisman perspective when that was all going down, and I didn't think, Austin and I went back and forth constantly talking about how we didn't think that was the right pick for the Raiders at the time, but most of it wasn't necessarily Genty slander. It's just the way people talked about him has just put him on this unfair pedestal that now he's in underrated conversations. Like,
when you think about running backs that are taken high, the hit rate on those has been astronomical. It's basically perfect. How many rookie running backs come in and immediately we're like, oh, he's the best running back of the world. Bijan, Saquon, I mean, Bijan and Gibbs, right? Both of those guys were out the gate electric, right? It's just like every single first-round running back just ends up being special since Trent Richardson, of course. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns.
Hey.
But so I don't think it's like completely unfounded to be like Genty's got to go crazy. But it is a bit of an anomaly for a running back who is touted as this highly of a prospect, and he was my number one graded prospect coming out of that draft. For him not to immediately step on and be this explosive productive runner is a little out of left field, but I think given the situation in Vegas, like it's not totally shocking now.
Yeah, agree. It's not shocking like at all. It was kind of if you understood like the gravity of the situation in Vegas, you could have expected to be disappointed. Maybe not to the extent that we all were.
I had more hope in Gino is my
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I kind of had hope in the ghost of Pete Carroll, and it was hard when you have Alex Kappa lining up at right guard, and like they keep switching their guard and centers around. Like Jackson Powers Johnson didn't play the same position for like multiple weeks in a row. Like it was so weird. They were just playing musical chairs with their offensive line. He had no chance. Not year one.
No, not at all. My underrated back that I wanted to touch on, and I will say Blake Corum is on my list, but we kind of already talked about a lot of the reasons why. It's just kind of the comparison between the two guys. But the other guy I wanted to talk about is Cam Skattebo, and from a sheer perception standpoint, I feel like he just is viewed as this cornball that does nothing other than just run through people well, and that's it. That's all he's good at. But I feel like it is. But there is value. There's more value to that than I feel like people give it credit for, and that's what bothers me. It's like a running back that can run between the tackles and push for a few yards after contact is a lot more valuable than like I said, it's given credit for. I'm not going to sit here and argue that he's like top 12 or even 15 or anything like that, but even when like that draft class was in swing and then he got up without his helmet on and everyone thought he was corny, like it just I feel like started this perception on Skattebo that he's playing into, I guess, that just makes him not seem like a legitimate, respectable NFL running back. And I feel like that is way off base for what we've seen from him already, and that tenacity and that aggression he plays with, it might only last him for a couple of years, but this will be a few years of a very highly productive running back that an offense can very much lean on successfully. Like, they're not just going to give him the ball because there's no one else there. Like, he took that job from Tracy and he ran with it. And Dable abused the fuck out of him for good reason, because he was running extremely hard and he was making the offense move with Dart. So I feel like that just doesn't get the credit it deserves, because, like I said, it is just kind of the one thing he does. But when you have a calling card as a running back, there is a lot of value to it, especially when you're good between the tackles, you have good ball security, and you're just like this energetic lightning bolt. Like, it helps your offense all around.
Sure. However, it might only last a few years because he is like putting his head down and putting his head into someone's chest. Like, it's dangerous football that he's playing. It's just, he's not gonna. I don't think he'll ever play a full season. Right? That's my concern. And I have the same concern with Dart. Him and Dart play football the exact same way. And it's not sustainable. Like, even if you get 10 good games out of them or 12 good games out of them, what about when the playoffs come around? Like, you're not going to have those guys.
No.
I have very little faith that in their current playing style that the Dart Scadaboo combo has any chance of making it out more than like it just doesn't.
No, you're right.
I don't see it.
You're
I
right.
don't see it as a practical solution on offense, unless you're just so bad on offense that your only solution is, well, concussion time. Like, that's the only solution that you have. It just doesn't feel productive. And if I were building a team, I always say, like, Dart and Scadaboo would be off my board entirely. Like, we just did a fantasy draft of the entire NFL through the lens of, like, we only did the first round, but it's like if you were trying to build things out, kind of like those Madden franchise fantasy drafts. We were like, how many quarterbacks would go? And Dart, I'm like, Dart would be completely off my board. I would never want him. Scadaboo would be completely off my board. I would never want him. Like, they just don't fit what I want to do.
Yeah, and like, I think like you said, those are probably going to add up. I mean, he's coming off of an injury where his ankle was just like off the bone.
Yes.
Like, it was straight up off the bone, and he already didn't have like crazy juice athletically. Like, he could scoot for being a power back a little bit, but like, we're talking like David Montgomery scooting. Like I don't think we were seeing a crazy athlete here. And then you fold his ankle in half, and like you said, like it's concussion time every week. Like, that's like, you can be a power back and not do that. It exists, but he plays the most reckless brand of football that really exists. So I think Scadaboo, the talent, is a good running back, but like for how long?
Well, that's something that's like, who cares though? It's like, maybe you get, like, if we got
his
like,
mother.
I'm building a team right now, and no, I don't want Scadaboo to be my RB1. But hypothetically, in a world where I'm trying to build a well-rounded room and I need a guy that can get me some tough yards, in tight, a bunch of meat at the line of scrimmage, and you just need someone to
exist, bro.
No,
Like,
I would take Scadaboo over Tyler Algier in a heartbeat. I would take him over. I think if you talked in purely power back universes, Scadaboo is like probably the number one pick. How is he not?
Exist, bro.
No,
Yeah.
I would trust
Ben Jarvis,
Scadaboo.
Green Ellis exists.
I would trust Scadaboo to run for 2 yards to get into the end zone probably more than anybody in the league right now, other than like Henry, I guess.
No, I love Scadaboo. Like,
if I wanted a running back for 8 games, give me J.K. Dobbins, man.
Oh man, we're really doing that to the guy too.
Yes.
Wow. At least for a running back, it's like your shelf life, your life expectancy isn't that long to begin with. With Dart, it's like, yeah, okay, you're supposed to be playing this position for 15 years, dude. You can't be doing this year one. But for Scadaboo, it's like, all right, You sign him up for your team, and you're full on expecting 4 years. That's it. And that's
We're
okay.
gonna live for 4 years.
There's value to
pal.
that. There's
Yeah.
value to that.
You're not expecting him to play for. You're expecting him to live for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, awful. This is not productive. Life.
See, this is what I mean. We don't.
We're just like
we don't
gladiator shit.
appreciate the value
Yes.
that he brings.
No, he's
Yes, it's
literally a
gladiator
gladiator.
football. yes. That is good. I appreciate
God.
that. I guess the world just doesn't. This is the problem.
I
This is
know,
why he's
like,
underrated.
I think there are like, look, I've gone back and watched some 70s football games, and like one of my favorite corners of all time is Mel Blount, right? Like gladiator corner, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They literally made a rule because he kept tackling receivers too early. So like I get it, like it's cool, but it was cool in the 70s. It's not cool in 2026, I fear.
This is a completely not related question, even to football. But on that same note, what do you think about like what Wemby's doing? If
Like,
you've
What-
been following
like-
any of
like-
that,
What note?
Up from 3, like
No,
going up
like
to
the-
midcourt, or like
when he's telling his teammates like hard foul, go kill him. Like he's basically.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's different. That's like I'm gonna kind of push you onto hardwood. That's not like I'm gonna ram my head into your throat and like kill us both in the process. It's a little different.
Yeah, I think motivational, like go kill them, is different than like taking off your helmet and headbutting someone
Right.
with a helmet on. Like,
Yeah.
that's just stupid.
Look, whatever, man.
Love the
I'll
guy.
fight the good fight for the next 3 years until he, dies. But for now, I will happily be in his corner cheering him on. Outside of the octagon, he's bleeding, his ears like falling off. I'll still be pounding on the chain link.
You're like Commodus from literally from Gladiator. You are.
Get
You're
back in
Joaquin
there, buddy.
Phoenix in the stands. Yeah.
Well, Austin, if you're not gonna agree with me, then you have to have somebody good.
Well, I had Genty also, but I'm gonna switch it to. I'm gonna skip Isaiah Davis this time. I've talked enough about Isaiah Davis. We're gonna do.
I want to hear about Isaiah Davis.
Dude, I love
Been
Isaiah
on this
Davis.
for too long. We got
He's so good. Let him.
How long?
Too long.
Since South Dakota State.
Okay,
Dude.
So this is like my Laquan Treadwell or like. Matt
Oh,
Ryan
yeah.
bit. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah, rip it.
No, I've had Isaiah Davis in should be Jets RB1 territory for so long. Like, not actually, but like, please, just give him like a game. Give him like 2 to 3 games. I don't think he'll ever leave. He'll
Got that at one point.
he'll be like a Rico Dowdle for somebody, where like he just comes in and plays. They're like, wait, let's see this for a little longer, and then he gets like a season maybe, and you're like, okay, let's see this again, and then he just has a Dowdle career. I think that could 100% happen.
Isaiah Davis last year, 236 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. Hold on.
He's clean. He's clean.
Those are all draws, halfback draws on 3rd and 15, picking up 7.
Dude, he's 6'1", 220, and he can boogie. He's got good vision. He's a good little receiver. He can scoot a little bit. Like he's a solid back.
He had 3.65 yards after contact per attempt. Forced 7 missed tackles. His longest run,
Hey,
236 yards. His longest run was 50. So
it's probably against the Bengals, to be so honest.
Or the Steelers.
I think I remember it actually.
his breakaway rate is very high, 45.8%. I mean, it's like I see. I can look. I haven't watched any film on Isaiah Davis.
No one has. It's okay.
What do you mean?
But like, look at it. Like the smallest sample size known to man: 43 carries, 61 snaps. It's like sort of efficient. Yeah, like I can get down with it. Not as efficient as Achan still.
God
Which
no.
is, like,
Well, Achan's
insane.
fucking unbelievable running back. Yeah.
I used
Yeah,
to
back-to-back years for the guy. 5.5 yards per carry, 5.8 yards per carry. I think we just keep it going. Let's just give him some more carries. See what happens. Braylon Allen, we're done with you, dude. I'm so done with him.
You know who else is less efficient than, though? Keaton Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
He was a
RB2 now.
Yeah, he was a darling for a bit. There was that span of time in Baltimore.
I think he still kind of should be a darling.
I mean,
he is super explosive. He's kind of Dobbins-esque pre-injury. You know,
yeah.
He's got that big second gear. Can get into open space. Very shifty. I like Mitchell a lot. I don't know if I'll put him in my underrated category, but I'm just noticing him like, there's like Isaiah Davis, Keaton Mitchell, Devon Achane, and then you've got Trey Benson and Amari DeMarco or Demercado. I don't remember how to.
It's been too long. Yeah.
7.1 yards per attempt. Shout out.
Damn.
I was victim of the Arizona running back debacle in fantasy last year. It was a mess.
You got Michael Cartered.
I had every single one of them.
None of them did anything.
Well, wasn't it like Connor got hurt, and then was it Carter that came in?
And I picked up Michael Carter, and then he got hurt. And then I picked up Trey Benson, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, they're on RB4.
I know.
At that point, you're like Corey Kiner territory, and you just gotta stop.
Well, underrated. There's probably a lot of guys you could get to as far as underrated goes, because the running back position is just one of those where it's like, it's just he hasn't gotten the chance yet, and hopefully Kalen Black will get his, because once he gets on the field, Kalen. Thank you. Finally, someone likes Kalen Black. I said pre-draft. I said Kalen Black is my RB2. The whole Discord laughed at me. I didn't understand. Kalen Black, I thought was
that's it.
RB2.
Yes, he's good.
That was like I liked Kalen Black to the tune.
Yeah, I'm not on that boat. Janarian Price, yeah, run fast. Run fast. That's it.
I liked Kalen Black to the tune of like a 5th round grade. Like, enjoy the player, could be fun. That's like really high.
Yeah, my short snippet on Kalen Black was he's a high IQ runner who's got his head on a swivel, and I think he makes the right move for the right situation. But he has short legs and serious long speed issues because he has short legs.
Yes.
Not that slow. Those legs move.
I would argue he might be the slowest running back I watched in the draft.
It's like when
He's
you're riding
like
a bike and
on
your
that
legs,
territory.
You're on a bike with a gear that's super low.
Slower than Seth McGowan.
So Seth was a little. Yeah.
Seth was slow. Seth was awfully slow.
But
Kate
Seth's
Trinale,
like
he's faster than
225.
Kate Allen's not fast.
Katrin Allen's slow.
They're both slow.
I had
Cinder
a
blocks
higher
on his feet.
grade he was my RB5.
Okay. It's still higher than
Yeah.
most people had him. Just not me.
I think he was my RB8.
Kalen Black and Katron Allen were tied actually in grade, so tied for RB5.
Kate Allen was my 3. That is a whole nother conversation. We don't need to get.
Le'Veon Moss, who
Oh, poor guy.
Is retired.
He retired because Florida's hot.
Is retired. All I'm gonna say is Kate Allen would never. Kalen Black would never.
No.
We don't
Yeah.
rate the bitches on our scales here. Le'Veon Moss outside the top 10.
How
We knew
could I
that.
have known that he was gonna resign?
We knew that.
Which
here in
apparently
this
was
fan.
not medical related at all. It was just because Florida's really hot. Like,
That is crazy. That is a crazy reason to hang him up.
especially when you played at Texas A&M. That's even crazier.
I know. Like, how much hotter can it
I
be?
guess Texas A&M's cooler than.
I guess. I live in Ohio. I feel like they're both hot as hell. Like,
I love the heat. So.
It's probably the humidity. He wasn't used to the humidity. It's a difference. It's a dry heat, humidity.
I want to melt. I go to Miami, Florida, and I'm sitting in the hot tub.
yeah, oh
Oh
wow.
my God. Are you a beach bather? Do you just lay out there for
I don't
hours
like
and
sand.
hours?
I'm Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. Well, of course.
It does get everywhere. Like
It's coarse and it's
awful.
rough.
it does.
Yes.
It's coarse and it's rough. Depends on what beach you go to. Clearwater Beach in where is it? Is it Tampa or is it? It might be Tampa. It's either Tampa or something. I don't know. But the Clearwater Beach is really soft, very soft sand.
I don't know if I've ever been to Clearwater Beach. I've been to a few beaches in Florida. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've never had a noticeable experience on sand that was positive.
I'm beating Kalen Black in a foot race on sand, by the way.
Oh my god. Leave Kalen Black alone, man.
He's fine. It's just he's got short legs, man. He's got really, really short legs. He's all torso. And that is a little concerning for me. Like, his center of gravity might be a little wonky. But he seemed to be a fine runner for Indiana. I'm not.
My Super Bowl was day 2 of the NFL draft when Kyle Shanahan agreed with me.
The 49ers day 2 running back picks of the last 5 years have been a treat.
Like Garendo.
He's the best one. It's been
Yeah, but he
Tyrion Davis Price.
Got
Yeah,
fat.
Tyrion Davis Price, Trey Sermon.
Shout out
God, they had a couple. Yeah, shout out. He was good for a college playoff series. That was fun.
Exactly.
Just wait.
Second round pick. All right.
Just wait. For Kalen Black on some
Cameron
soft
Latu. There you go.
sand. All right, let's do the top 5 running back duos. And I found this category to be interesting when I was thinking about it because the way I determined my 5 was if the starter were to go down, how confident would I be in the next man up? So I put a lot more stock into the backup than I don't want to say than I did the starter entirely, but more than just okay, this Derrick Henry is one of the best backs in football, so the Ravens are automatically on here, even though Justice Hill just isn't cutting it for me. So that's the way I went about it, and I came away with my top 5 looking like this. I had Philadelphia at 1 with Saquon and Tank. I had the Rams at 2 with Kyron and Corum. The Cardinals at 3 with Love and Algier/Connor, which honestly could be higher. The Patriots at 4 with Ramondre and Henderson. And then the Falcons at 5 with Bijan and Bryan. Shout out to the Falcons schedule release video.
Robinsons.
Yes, that
True.
was a very good schedule release video. So that was my 5.
Okay. Well, I'll drop it. I have Gibbs and Pacheco at number 1.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I mean, Gibbs is awesome, and Pacheco is been an RB1. It's not crazy. He's not that good anymore, but with Gibbs, it's pretty fun. I got Love and Algier at 2. Bijan and Bryan at 3. I got Corum and Kyrum at 4. And then I have Swift and Monunga at 5.
Okay.
'Cause they're a fun little tandem.
I don't hate that.
So you're making me want to change things up a little bit. I want to go back to that Gibbs and Pacheco thing.
I'm out.
Why?
Mark Cuban. I need the Mark Cuban meme. I'm out.
I get you're putting a lot of weight in the backup, but I feel like Pacheco's a good backup.
I don't know, man.
I mean, he's been the one. He's not a good one. That's kind of established at this point. But Jahmyr Gibbs
yeah, but,
plus Pacheco
oh man,
behind Penei Sewell.
the Lions are in a pretty dastardly situation if they go from Gibbs to Pacheco in the case that he had to take on a bulk of carries. The biggest part of Gibbs' game is his explosiveness. It's not his physicality per se. Pacheco's not breaking off runs the same way that Gibbs is. It's a completely different backfield. The scheme is completely looking different with a guy that isn't, blowing past guys in the secondary. He's just not. It's just a completely different backfield. It's with Montgomery, at least you had a level of physicality. That's gone with Pacheco too.
He's
Hell
pretty
no.
physical.
Hey,
And he's a
get
pretty
on,
physical
get on,
fella.
come on.
He's a pretty physical fella.
Physicality comes from the fact that he runs. You love Scatterbo, but you hate him. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense. Pacheco lost all power in his legs when he broke his fucking leg in half, and it's
Yeah,
just
but
not
he's
been
Modern
the
medicine is
Like
beautiful.
a bat out of hell, and that's what you love.
same. Yeah, but he's hit the end of his shelf life. Like if Scadaboo hit the end of his shelf life, then I would agree with you. But Pacheco's at the end of that shelf life I was talking about. Scadaboo is at the start of it. But once you get to the back half, we are seeing what that looks like. It's bad. It is bad. It's going to be similar for Scadaboo when he gets to the end of that rope. But now he's at the start.
Well, for mine as well, it wasn't necessarily like starter gets injured, backup comes in. It's more about like the 1-2 punch of like Gibbs is going to dominate touches, obviously. Like he's so freaking good, and he's one of the best running backs, one of the best big play threats in the entire league. And then Pacheco is like a good running back too behind him. That was more about my thing about it. Who can play, like they play in the same game together.
So what about Pacheco's game is more attractive than Brian Robinson's?
I think he's just like, I mean, it's, to me, he's less limited personally. I think when you talk about a guy that's kind of done, I think Brian Robinson's done personally. Because I think like even like the level of explosiveness, Pacheco's lost a lot of that, but I don't think Brian Robinson has any. Like he just can't really hardly move anymore. I mean, he was moved out of Washington when their next ups were a rookie Bill Krosky-Merritt, who they had no idea what he even looked like. Like they were done with him. And then like he hasn't played like really any productive football in a long time. So I'm just not super in on Brian personally. I mean, he was hurt, but like, yeah, he played.
No, yeah, he played. So did Brian.
When did Brian play?
But Brian, had a few carries here and there last year.
Yeah, that he had 10.
He had about 10 or 12, but at least he's healthy. Or healthier, arguably. Look, all I'm saying is I feel like if you're going to put a lot of stock into the starter like you are with Gibbs, like how much different is the backfield looking for Detroit compared to Atlanta? And I feel like with Brian, with the way that offense works in that scheme and how it operates, you're getting a closer to Bijan level backfield than you are closer to Gibbs level backfield in Detroit if Gibbs went down, if that makes sense.
I don't know.
Maybe that's a little bit.
I think the Lions can still win games. I think the Lions would still win games if Pacheco's there. I don't think the Falcons do if Brian Robinson's a starter.
Do we have to open that can?
That's just kind of what I think about it with.
I don't know if I completely disagree. I mean, part of that is because the Falcons quarterback play.
100%.
Blaiden, I have to ask you this.
We've gone over this episode a 1,000 times.
This is our positional value argument, just our version of what you guys have been going over and over with. So we are at odds about who provides more value to the Falcons offense. Would they be worse off without Bijan or without Drake London?
Oh, why'd you do this to me?
It's horrible.
I love Drake London.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
See, that's tough because I do think Drake London is a really good player, but I think the quarterback situation is so rough that it kind of negates itself. It's like Brock Bowers is really valuable, but is he really valuable with Geno Smith, or would he be more valuable with Patrick Mahomes? Right. And I think that's kind of the same thing with London, whereas Bijan, yeah, he's at the will of the offensive line to some extent, but he is able to control his own destiny more than Drake London is. And so I think for that reason, like in the current situation the Falcons are in, I might say they're worse off without Bijan.
Yeah,
damn.
That was my point of view. It wasn't aggressive though.
I love Drake London.
It's like just think of it
Drake
this way.
London's
This is
my baby, dude.
my whole argument is the Falcons without Drake London are left with a can of meatballs at receiver. There is nothing. I mean, literally nothing depth-wise. Yeah, Zach Branch.
No Kyle Pitts erasure. I don't care about Zachariah Branch.
Okay, how far is Kyle Pitts carrying? It's not going to work like that.
They've got Jahan Dotson, trust.
Dude, Kyle Pitts was nice at receiver last year. When Drake London missed like 3 games.
But it is a good point to be like, it's Dotson, Alamide Zacchaeus.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have...
Like, you're fucked. You are fucked.
I think they are,
Penix,
but that's the argument. They're fucked either way.
Yeah, they're kind of fucked either way.
Because if they have Brian Robinson and then like Drake London's fun, like he's awesome, but he's not good enough by himself to like carry that supporting cast plus a Brian Robinson run game.
But
like that would be
degree,
hard.
This is the position of value argument to some degree, because it's like, I'm sorry, Brian Robinson is not this bad. Like, you are getting a somewhat serviceable run game with Brian Robinson to the point where, relatively speaking, without London, it's a complete fall off. It's not the end of the world when you go from Bijan to Brian, because at the end of the day, a running back is, running counter, he's running sweep, he's running toss, he's getting the ball. He might not get as many yards, but your run game isn't gone. Your passing game, I'm sorry, is gone. It's
Drake
gone.
London missed like 4 games. How'd they do?
I don't remember.
They did pretty well. They won like half the games, and Kyle Pitts had like 150 receiving yards, and then Bijan had like 80 receiving yards. They did the exact same thing. It's my point. Like they looked the exact same. And I love Drake London. Like this, it's just like
they had
Darnell Mooney.
He's so good.
They
had Kirk Cousins at quarterback, and they had Bijan getting like 190 all-purpose yards. Kyle Pitts would get his like 75 to 140, and then it was like David Sills, and then and then but it was the same product.
The same product is, I would not go that length of saying.
They scored the same. They scored the same.
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of see this going either way, but I do lean that, like, Bijan I think is the better player, even though I think Drake London rocks.
He does. He's awesome.
Rock star. I love him, but I don't know. And getting back to the RB duos, did either of you mention the Bills?
I have an honorable mention of James Cook and Josh Allen as my running back duo.
I
be a man and mention Ty Johnson. Be a man and mention Ray Davis.
I like them, but like I couldn't decide who was RB2.
It doesn't matter. They can both.
Just write the Bills.
Just write the Bills, dude. Like, I'm
Yeah.
watching James Cook, and I'm like, yeah, this dude's got great vision, great contact balance. Like, to me, that's number 2. Like, the Bills have a good run game, I think, kind of no matter who's out there. And part of that is because Josh Allen, and I think it's fair to be like Josh Allen does have a role to play there, and part of it is because they have a great offensive line. But I watch them, and I'm like, oh my god, that's an outstanding backfield in general. Arizona is my number 1, with Love and Algier. I think Jeremiah Love is going to be exceptional. He was my number 1 prospect in this year's class. Algier or Connor, again, whoever's that number 2. Like, I feel very confident. Like, if it's Connor and Connor's like 100%, and it's those 2 are the workhorse backs, like that is the best run game in football. Assuming everyone is healthy. I'll put the Rams at 3. As much as we've been dissing on Kyron today, he is good at what he's good at. And Blake Corum I like a lot, and so I think that is, like, if you're putting a lot of juice into the backup there, I think that's a good running back duo to watch out for. And then I think I'm gonna put the Lions at 4, dude.
God damn it! Oh,
I got excited.
why? Pacheco's not good.
But Gibbs is great, and Pacheco is okay.
Gibbs is a stud, dude. Got him pounding his fist.
I can't. Pacheco.
It's the duo, not the backup. It's not backup rankings. It's the duo. It's both.
Bijan, Brian is not that much worse than Pacheco. I'm sorry. You
Well,
cannot.
I also don't think Gibbs is that much worse than Bijan. Like I think that it's pretty compared. And I ranked them both top 5.
And I'm feeling like I'll probably put the Falcons at 5, but Seattle. I love the little Jadarian Price.
Oh,
It'll work well.
I can't with the Jadarian
A
Price.
little Emmanuel Wilson. I like me some Emmanuel Wilson and some George Holani. They got it going on in Seattle.
They got it going on. I like what they have there, but I'll stick to Atlanta because I know what they have in Bijan already, and I think having 2 Robinsons is funny. So
Yeah.
No Saquon, Tank Bigsby love. Not even a mention. I think Tank is one of the best backups in the league.
I don't think I'm quite as high on Tank. As that. I think he's a fine back, but I'm not quite as high on him.
I don't know. Pacheco, man, like what the. Maybe I'm just looking at it through the wrong lens here. Maybe I'm just putting too much investment in the back.
He doesn't.
But I do not understand how you can.
I told you the difference. Pacheco's the same as Scadaboo, but one's at the end of the rope. It's a difference.
Get it, but like,
I don't think Scadaboo's too far off of his end, dude.
He just started.
I know.
that's the problem.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
I'm trying to think who else I could. Hey, maybe you throw Cleveland in there.
Was there a Patriots mention?
I love me some Judkins. I had the Patriots written down.
Dylan Sampson's
Yeah.
kind of a dog.
I like Samson. I'm a Samson fan.
Yeah.
I had Patriots written down as like a cohesive unit, but I'm not in love with either of them that much.
That was how I felt.
But they're a good duo. I just don't love either player as like an RB1.
Yeah.
No, I don't like Stevenson. I'm like really low on, and and I feel like maybe I could have set him for overrated, but I feel like he's kind of consensus pretty low for a lot of people.
Yeah.
The fumbling and.
I think I was too low. I was a hater at one point.
Yeah.
Now
And then Henderson's cool. Henderson's really explosive, but that's kind of like all he is.
Yeah, he's got some work.
Not a lot of down-to-down reliability from him. And also, when we were at Super Bowl, like people just kept asking him about God. No one asked him about football. And I'm like, dude, I want to ask one football question.
Yeah. Was that before or after all that? That was before?
Before the Vrabel stuff. Yeah.
Wow, they were already doing that.
Oh wait, before the break. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
This is before
Okay.
the yes. I had to think. I was like, was that? No. It was
Yeah. The Vrabel stuff was like draft. That was like draft like week. Yeah. Still bad. That's why they got Caleb Lomu.
Well, I want to get into this next category because when we had Theo on, this was probably the most fun part. When we talked about the appetizers, we did an appetizer draft, and we are going to do a hotel amenities draft. And I was like sitting there chuckling to myself when I came up with this. 'Cause I'm like, I think this could be good. But I wanted to ask you guys if we should establish some ground rules as far as what amenities we're talking about, because obviously
rules.
if you go to like a really expensive hotel, there's going to be some ridiculous shit. It's like
That's on you, bro.
Air
Get your.
conditioning is not an amenity, although I've stayed in hotels with no AC.
Yes, I agree.
Well, then I have to redo my whole fucking list.
What? Well, I agree though. Like there's got to be a ground level, and there also has to be a ceiling. We have to keep it.
I don't know. Get your money up. Like I feel like if we're talking about like. If you stay in a nice hotel, which I've never stayed in anything fancy, but like, if you get your money up, like you deserve it.
But like, okay, fine. We'll call out if someone says something that feels out of the confines of the point, then we'll call it out.
I'm not saying shit, dude. You got it.
All right, we'll go left to right. So Blaiden, you can get the first pick, and there is a clear consensus one here, and I'm really afraid you're gonna take it.
There's a consensus one?
I think there's
Hell no, there's not.
one. There's 1,000.
There's no way
consensus.
there's a consensus.
There is hands
Dude,
down
I've
a
been
consensus
I've been
one.
thinking about this all day. I'm like, what is the best? There's a lot of things I like, But the best.
Yes, there's one, but I can't say it because you'll.
Oh, the pool.
No.
No way.
It's not the pool.
It's not the pool.
Definitely not the pool. Definitely not the pool. I'd say gym is higher than pool for sure. I feel like what I have to go with is the thing that I end up. It's weird. I don't end up. I never look back on this as like if I stay at a nice hotel, which one time Stay Hot got like a really nice setup from Apple TV in LA. It was
Sick. That is sick.
But they didn't have this, even though it's like it is the nicest hotel I've stayed in by far. Free breakfast.
Really? It did have bright. Well, I guess that makes sense. The higher class you get, the more you gotta
higher
pay for
class you
shit.
get,
That makes
the more
sense.
you
To
have
be
pay for
so
stuff.
honest, that should be consensus number one. A free back. Yeah.
I think a free breakfast, not a continental breakfast, but like where they got the waffle maker, they've got oatmeal, they've got sausage, they've got eggs, right? If I can go down and put 2,000 calories in my body for $0
Yeah.
at 7 in the morning, and then I can go like if like open 6 to 10, like that's I think the cream of the crop.
That's fair.
And it's a very like mid-tier hotel. Like if you're staying at a terrible hotel, they don't have it. If you're staying at a really nice hotel, they don't have it. But like the average hotel, your Hiltons, like they don't have this at the Hyatt Regency.
Wow.
It's like once you get to a certain level of hotel, they just don't have free breakfast anymore. But you go to a Hilton, you go to a Hampton Inn, they've got the waffle maker out there.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the number one.
You know what? I take my statement back. I would agree. I think I was working too much in the confines of Holiday Inn, and I'm like, all right, there's breakfast, but there isn't. You make a very fair point. That is not always standard, and it probably we're getting to a point in society where we'll probably be looking back in 10 years from now and saying, remember when hotels just had fucking breakfast?
I will opt to stay at a worse hotel if I can have breakfast.
I would not disagree.
Because otherwise I have to call. It's like, oh, but they'll bring it to you, bro. Bro, you can call. You don't even have to call them. You can do it on your phone. They'll bring it to your room. It's like, yeah, but it's $40.
Yeah, right?
It's like, what? And I'm already paying $400 for the room.
Yep.
Like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah. Okay. That I completely agree with in hindsight. So that's a good first overall pick. That might be tough to beat. I'm gonna have to build a very solid team. I'm interested to see where Austin goes with this.
Well, I don't even stay in hotels. I've stayed in like 2 ever. So, and I didn't realize we had
Are you an Airbnb guy?
a big Airbnb guy if I do it. Yeah.
Honestly,
But-
I think Airbnbs are good for like big
That's
trips,
yeah.
right? But if it's like 2 or 3 people, I think hotel wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always travel in packs. Like, I feel like I'm never like solo or duo traveling. But yeah, I also didn't realize we had fucking rules. So let me
What
read.
did you write down then?
I dead ass had AC written down to be so
What are you
honest.
talking? Okay.
Like there's that
The
bare
hotels
minimum
I stayed in
air
had
conditioning unit. There's that minimum of a unit
unbelievable
in the
breathing.
window.
Yeah.
This is at least a window unit.
But
The
I'm-
hotel
I-
I stayed at in San Francisco for Super Bowl did not have.
oof.
Wow.
It was you could open your window and you could turn on the fan,
All right.
and that was it.
Well, for my pick, I'm not letting
We were
you.
within a 15-minute walk of the media center, though. So.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, you just melt at night and then.
Well,
Melt at night for a short walk.
I was fine.
Yeah, you're just sweating through my sheets. Change these, please.
Yeah, no, they were super great. Like they were nice. They only had like bagels for breakfast though.
Free?
So, yeah, free bagels.
There we go.
So should we give him AC?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't want to break your rules. All right.
All
Can
right,
I
fine.
may I get hotel soap?
That would be my
define
yes,
soap.
No, I
Like the soap, like any soap, like the soap in the shower that they like set there.
yes. The hotel toiletries. I think that's
Okay.
a fine number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
Can you be more specific?
No.
Like define like, because in my mind, one of the things I had written down was I really enjoy when they have the conditioner, the shampoo, and the body soap in the containers hanging on the wall.
Yeah, son, that's mine. I got that one.
That's lower, actually.
That's what?
You want the ones that you can steal, bro.
Okay, that's fine. That's true. That's
Yeah,
also
like
true.
they come in like
Yeah.
almost like shareable sizes.
Yes, and you want the ones where you can look up the brand late. Like if they had a really
Yeah.
good shampoo or conditioner, you're like, oh, what was this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're like you look it up later and it was like
A Veda.
bottle.
Nice.
That's fair. I think the
I think that's a
convenience
good
of the
thing.
wall pump is just so nice.
The
to me.
convenience of the wall pump is cool. It's cool.
Here's my
Maybe
5-in-1.
One in your place, right? But
All right, that's a good first pick. So we got free breakfast and we got the
Yeah.
toiletries.
I'm excited for this consensus first overall
this
pick.
is a tough one to not draft first round. I'm gonna bundle it together, and the jury can tell me if it's legal or not. I think late checkout / early check-in is together, and that is unmatched. Not everywhere does it, and when a hotel allows it, yeah, like obviously you could probably pay for it anywhere, but like if you called and said, hey, we're getting in town for a couple hours earlier and we got nothing to do, like can we get in earlier? And if the answer is yes versus no, I am always so much more pleased, because then you gotta walk. There's like that awkward period where you're just getting somewhere, kind of gotta walk around and find things to do, but you got all your shit. You probably gotta find somewhere to park that's not the hotel. It's like, what do you do then? Like early check-in and then late checkout if you're out somewhere the night before and you don't got to wake up at the ass crack. Is a new thing that I've noticed, at least with Airbnbs, maybe not with hotels as much, but check-in, check-out used to be 11 a.m. Now I feel like it's trending to 10, and that's really starting to bother me. It's really starting to get on my nerves. So when you,
still 11.
it is for the most part, but you get a later checkout, I think that's a great amenity.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think
I think that
fair.
counts.
It's really hard to find free early check-in and late checkout. Like
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Well, I'm
And
talking
a lot
like
of
an
times-
hour,
A lot of times
like-
you have to book it in advance. Like
Yeah.
because a lot of times they have those rooms on rotation. So
Yeah.
you'd basically have to find a hotel that isn't very busy, and also just has the free policy anyway. But it's just,
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
But
Hey, call me. Do I got to change the pick? Is that outside
No.
the confines?
Absolutely not. I have no rules. I don't care what you do.
Well, that'll be my pick, and I think the deeper we get, this feels like a top heavy draft to me. So I'm interested to see how specific
Are we
we get.
snaking?
So no, Blaiden, you can go. You can follow
I got some
up.
depth coming.
All right. Give me the hot tub.
Moo.
Okay.
Yeah, not the pool, the hot tub. It's still gross.
There's a Band-Aid in it.
There's a Band-Aid. There's some smelly people that just walk past you as you're walking in.
Yep.
But it's a hot tub.
Hot
are cool.
tubs, they're better than pools.
They're definitely better than pools.
Agreed.
And especially like if they have a pool and a hot tub, you could get in the pool for a little bit and then get in the hot tub, and you're like feel nice and warm after that, and then you go clean off in the shower. That's a great night. So if a place has free breakfast and a hot tub, I'm in 100% of the time.
I like that pick. I think I tend to avoid indoor pool hot tub
There.
because you walk in, you get smacked with that like gross humidity. It's usually like just so warm. It sometimes
sticky.
smells. But like if it's outside, 100%, I 100% agree. But like yeah, inside, like I could just feel it right now. Like you swipe your key card to open that door, you just get like absolutely smacked in the face with the air of the pool, the indoor pool.
I like that air for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
You might be a secret liking to melt person.
I think I'm becoming one. Like honestly, I got my hot car today, and I was like,
Yes,
not that bad.
That's
my
crazy.
car's in the shop. They gave me a loaner, and it was sitting in the parking lot in the sun. I got in it. I just sat there for a minute.
Yeah.
Some leather seats. There's no way a person
They're
can even
leather
do it on
seats.
leather. Oh my
They're leather
God.
seats, Well, I don't know if they're like true leather anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got some pleather seats.
The like perforated and yeah, but I mean they're black seats, you know. So
Yeah.
it's still pretty hot in there. But I'm like, this isn't so bad. What are they talking about?
No, it's
Roll
not.
down your windows when you go into the store. It's like no.
I guess we have 2 melters here.
Yeah, I'm newly.
Yes. Welcome to the club.
All right, thank you.
What's your next pick?
I'm gonna say airport transportation.
Oh wow, that's a
an
good poll.
amenity?
I mean, I think to some degree, yeah.
I have that coming in July, like from airport to where I'm staying.
The
Like,
hotel will pick you up.
Yeah, it's a resort. Yeah, so they have a little thing going on there.
So it's like an inclusive thing. Okay. Okay.
But I'm counting that because I've stayed in like 2 hotels. That's all I got.
I was allowed to keep my pick, so I feel like I gotta keep my mouth shut.
Okay. I've never heard of that. I've never stayed at a resort though. So.
Nah.
That is pretty awesome. To because that's a big problem. Like especially going to Florida, it's like my mom's friend has a house in Florida, and the biggest issue is that it's far away from most of the airports, and it's like you get there and you're like, fuck. Now we got to spend $70 on an Uber ride to drive, an hour and a half just to get to the damn house, or you're renting a car for a couple days, and then that can get pricey. So that is a pretty big deal to have.
Yeah,
so.
I hate rental cars. It's like the worst like dealing that you could possibly have.
Some shady people at Render Deals.
Exactly.
Say that.
Yes.
There's some shady people that operate those businesses. But my second pick, I'm gonna go with strong shower water pressure. I feel like that I can't stand weak water pressure in the shower.
You
That
don't get
drives me
like
up a wall.
spit on you.
You don't have to worry about it.
Now you got the
No, yeah,
jets,
that-
baby.
Just take
That's
your
my
soaps,
shower.
Take your free soaps that you can
Hey,
down to the hot tub. And
let these jets destroy my back. That sounds like a good day.
that's where all your water pressure went, is to the hot tub.
Probably. That's honestly probably true. Like I can't. There's nothing I hate more than just a weak streamed shower head that just does not get it. Like I have to sit there and wash my hair out for way longer than I need to because the water's like barely
Yeah, got to use my
flowing
hands
out.
like a
Yeah, I
madman.
gotta, like, I like when the water does some work.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. I really thought this was going to be gone, and so I was like, I'm
Oh,
just gonna
boy.
be without it. Because I kind of don't even love this pick for myself, but I do think it's the best available, which is Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Classic.
But my only requisite is that the internet either needs to be like totally free. Like you shouldn't have to pay for a base level of internet.
No.
Right. Which most places don't. But some places you get like sort of high speed internet for free. But typically the base internet is pretty bad. So if you have an option to upgrade, I think that should be there. Because like a lot of times my hotspot is faster. So it's like that's the only reason that I'm like kind of against the internet pick is because I'm like most people have unlimited data these days.
Mhm.
A lot of people have hotspots, and a lot of those hotspots are faster than the hotel Wi-Fi. But if the hotel has an option to upgrade, or if they have a free fast Wi-Fi, then I think that's a huge plus.
Yeah.
Especially for content creators like us.
Yes. I like that pick. I think to some degree, while everyone does have unlimited data, I feel like naturally as humans, we've gotten in the habit of like going somewhere and it's like, hey, what's the Wi-Fi? Or what's the Wi-Fi password? I feel like that's just kind of like habitually something we've gotten in routine of doing.
Yeah.
And I think part of it too, because you work in IT, right, Blaiden?
Yes.
Yeah, I also do. The part of it, like I think if it's protected internet, this is gonna sound
that is the
borderline
other-
nerdy.
Yes.
But if it's protected internet for free and it's
why you
got
gotta
good
have a
speeds, like
VPN.
that is right, and that's what a lot of people would alternatively do, but a lot of people also don't. They don't even know what the hell that means. So it's
You don't even like. There are some free VPNs that I have a decent amount, but
Yeah.
At the end, yeah, it's. And a lot of those hotels, like, they don't have great Wi-Fi because it's set up poorly, and there's dead zones, and so it's tough. But I think for the most part, I lean this as a top 10, right? We're in the top 10 still. Amenity here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Austin, what's your third pick?
I'm gonna say a gym, specifically with dumbbells that go over 50. Because a lot of times they stop at like 50, and like there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But then like if you can get up a little bit, like you got a real gym on your hands.
Can't say I have that problem. I'm just not moving like that.
I know you can chest press some
walk-
50s. I know you can.
I don't walk into the gym and have that problem.
He's a big time runner. He's on the treadmill. He's going. He's doing 10 miles on the treadmill. Right? That's why he's not lifting the weight.
Yeah, I've seen that 4-minute mile. It's impressive.
That's a good pick, though. I feel like Jim. Wait, were you talking about me? I completely missed that joke. I thought you said someone before the start of it, and I was like, oh, good for them. But yeah, no. Ironically, yeah, that's kind of my build. That's kind of my whole shtick. Is like, if you think you can beat me up, you're gonna have to chase me down first. So, good luck. Like, yeah, cool. You can lift a bunch of heavy metal, but you're not gonna catch me. So who cares? That's kind of like what I say to people. Austin said like 100 episodes ago at this point. He said something along the lines of, if you're under 200, you're victim weight. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I'm like, victim weight? And then like all my buddies say the same shit. Everyone's going to the gym, drinking the creatine. It's like, dude, oh my God.
I was, for most of high school, I was like 160 pounds, 150 pounds soaking wet. And then summer before senior year, I got up to 175. I was 175 for like 5 or 6 years. And then over the last year or so, I've gotten up to 200 pounds since working in the office. Which is, a lot of people are like, normally you gain weight when you work from home, not when you work in the office.
Yeah, true.
I put on, well, it's because I eat like a ridiculous lunch every day.
Like, what is ridiculous?
It's 4 sandwiches and a bag of pretzels.
Holy shit. What kind of
I respect
sandwiches?
that.
It's 2 peanut butter and apple sandwiches, wheat bread, of course, honey wheat bread.
Of course.
Kroger.
Honey wheat, that's good.
And then 2 turkey provolone, and a little bit of mayo. So
That sounds good.
That'll do it. That's
Yeah,
awesome,
I'll
though.
definitely do it.
4 toaster waffles for breakfast, and then
Holy shit.
yeah.
I respect
I
that.
ate like a bird compared to that. I eat 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at lunch, and that'll do it. I have an apple.
If I wake up early enough, it's 4 toaster waffles, 3 strips of bacon, 2 hash browns.
Holy fuck.
waffles
God
are-
bless. What time do you go to bed to make all that?
Last night I went to bed at like midnight.
Okay.
Tonight
that's not bad.
I'll probably go to bed at like 2 a.m.
Yeah. Okay. So you're on a pretty regular schedule. You're not going to bed at
Regular.
like 7:30.
My girlfriend goes to bed at like 9, dude.
Yeah.
I've been trying to be on that.
It's so
Well,
fun.
9:30 to 10. I feel I'm like I'm an adult now. This
It's
is
way
awesome.
too early. It's
Yeah.
horrible. I get home from work. My day was dog shit. And I'm like, all right, now I gotta make
we're
dinner.
Going to bed at 10. No, the
Yeah.
day's over, dude. Like,
New Lego Batman game just dropped, son. That's what we're doing.
I did play 6 hours of Lego Star Wars recently. I was trying to
Nice.
speed run the game because I watched someone speed run it in like 2.5 hours. I was like, shit.
Jesus.
There are some psychos when it comes to speedrunning. I respect those people.
Yeah.
I respect those people. To
I
some
fear those people.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
I do also fear speedrunners. Those people are a different breed of
Hey,
human
it was,
being.
it was a lot of fun, but it was literally 6 hours, 3 minutes.
Dude, that thing took me like a year. Like,
My God.
It took me. There was a stretch where I was unemployed, and I 100% the game, and I was
Damn.
that took me I think it took me like 3 weeks, with breaks, obviously.
yeah.
But like,
Damn.
What else are you gonna do when you're not working? Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I would do the same thing. When I went through my
find a job. Like, come on.
yeah, right? Like, why do we need to work?
You got time.
Exactly. So So whose pick is it?
I
Gave you the last pick?
It's my last. It's the last pick of the draft, and I'm gonna go with something that I feel like falls in a similar vein of some of the things we've already talked about, where it feels like it's standard, but it's also sometimes not, and that's just free parking. Like,
that would be
sometimes there's not even parking at all, let alone free parking, and a lot of like those middle ground hotels we were talking about before, they have it. But you get to hotels where, in New York, for example, like I've been to New York City a few times, and you're definitely paying for parking down there, and it's not at the hotel. Forget it being at the hotel. It's literally just at some ramp 3 blocks away. So that is definitely something I've come to appreciate. Is just being able to show up to the hotel and park my car and walk in.
Yeah.
So
I think the only reason that's lower on my list is because a lot of times if I'm staying in a hotel, I don't have my car.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
you're good enough.
Like
get off the
if I
plane, right?
drove there, that's one thing.
Yeah,
But like a lot of times, like if I'm staying in a hotel, I'm flying there,
yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I take the Airbnb, they drop me off at the front door, I go right in.
right.
I don't have to worry about it. But
Yeah.
no, if I'm driving somewhere, I want there to be free parking, and that's like usually a prerequisite. It's like breakfast, hot tub, Wi-Fi,
Soap.
and
Soap.
Yeah.
Well, the soap you don't know. That's one thing. You
Yeah.
show up and it's either there or it's not. And like they
Terrible.
don't have soap, but it's not all good.
Yeah, sometimes it's like Old Spice or Irish Spring, God forbid. Not happening.
No, it's sometimes it's not even got anything on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's just an empty little fucking
That's the best
thing.
one, dude.
It's just a vial of orange.
Yeah, it's literally just a vial. It's such a good word. A vial of just it's suspicious liquid.
That
like
one
will
smells
trap
the
you.
best, I swear.
Yeah.
It's so
It's got
good.
the Dr. Bronner's. Or
The 15 and 1. It's so
The
good.
15 and 1.
oil.
All right. Well, we'll get back to running backs. We got a couple categories left, and the second to final that we had was one running back due to regress, and then one running back we have breaking out. I know, Blaiden, you mentioned that Genty was your breakout candidate. Is that who you wanted to stick with? You could expand on that, or did you have somebody else?
Trying to think, who else could I throw in there? I mean, I don't feel like I could throw a rookie in there. I feel like that's a little bit disingenuous to the. It's not in the spirit of the question.
I
say
agree.
A rookie running back is going to break out. So I do feel like it's probably still going to be Genty, although you could throw like. I think you could still throw Judkins in there as like, because he had some good games for Cleveland last year, but you're expecting this offensive line to take a step forward from where it was, being one of the worst in the league last year. The quarterback's still going to be bad, that's true, but they have some receivers now, so maybe the passing game as a whole isn't a complete disaster. Maybe there's a bit more cohesion in the building with Monk in. So I could see Judkins having a bit of a better year than. I mean, he had a solid year last year, but maybe he gets over 1,000 and can keep a level of efficiency going.
Yeah, I'm a huge Judkins fan. Like, it felt like he was already it felt like he was that level of back to me
Right.
already. It's just like he didn't get to complete it.
Right.
But like a full season of that, like from start to end, I think that we're looking at a guy that I think he could be a top 10 back at the end of next year.
I think he can be in conversations.
Hmm.
He was kind of. I didn't end up putting him in my top 12, but he was a name I just put a bunch down on my list that I might consider when I was when push came to shove, and he was on that list. I'm like maybe, and then I'm like all right, maybe not, but he was at least in the back of my mind. Like there's a chance because I really did like Judkins as well. Yes, kind of like Corb, kind of like Scatterboot. No, I'm kidding. I won't go that far, but. I like that. I like that for Judkins too, because he's a guy that no one really, I won't say liked, but I feel like when I remember back to that draft cycle, he was not everyone's favorite.
It was my guy.
Not mistaken. I know it was Austin's guy for sure, but I feel like he was like bordering top 5.
I was higher on Henderson. I know that. A lot of people were higher on Hampton, and and RJ Harvey. So yeah, he was kind of getting lower on the totem pole there, but yeah, he's got some nice power to him, and I think people were lower on his explosiveness than they should have been, because he's really able to kind of buck off tacklers and get started again pretty quickly, which you don't see a lot of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a tough guy to bring down. So I enjoyed watching Judkins a lot last year, and I think everything you said could leave you hopeful for sure, especially if the offensive line stays healthy. Like, obviously they signed a bunch of guys that have health concerns and health history.
They just needed warm bodies.
Yeah, no, they did the right thing, 100%. But as far as if it pans out, that's what we have to wait and see.
I'll also throw Saquon. I'll say Saquon bounces back a little bit from last year, coming off of one of the greatest running back seasons ever, and then taking a big step back to like barely 4 yards, like 4.1 yards a carry. Just not an efficient year, but I think a lot of that is chalked up to Patullo and kind of the scheme that he was running and not being very creative at the play calling, and just like the general vibes of that offense being down, right? And we've seen that before with this Eagles offense, is when their offensive play caller is not when it's like an in-house hire, it doesn't seem to go that well. Like, maybe we need to have some bigger conversations about that, but yeah, I think Saquon could have a bounce back. Not even like, probably will have a bounce back year compared to last.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt wrong that like AJ Brown was off, Hurts was off, Saquon was off. The offensive line even felt off, which is they're a terrifying offensive line on paper. Like, there's no reason for that. It's just
they have some holes. I think they're not quite what they were, but they should be better.
They're good.
They're better than the results showed.
Yeah, it's better than the holes he was getting. And like you said, a lot of that's probably just the predictability of.
As a whole was less than the sum of his parts a little bit. So.
Well, you know whose vibes are never down. It's Cam Scadaboo's vibes.
Oof.
I'm just saying it matters. It matters. You just said it. You guys said it yourself. It just was weird. It was
why have Saquon when?
Why have Saquon? You get Scadaboo lifting the spirits of the locker room.
When you could have Cam Scadaboo.
When you can have Tyrone Tracy in week 9. It's awesome.
Great.
Whatever.
I love my life. This is.
I'm sure Giants fans do love their life, though. That Scadaboo's
do they?
around.
I've never met a happy one.
Yeah, probably not. Austin, who would you have for a breakout candidate?
I think I'm kind of liking Baishal Tutten's chances, and it's a little bit more of like a lot of things are going to have to go well kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, his competition is Chris Rodriguez and LaQuint Allen, who I actually both like individually, but their upsides are just so small. Whereas Tutten is such a crazy athlete. Like, I know he can't hold on to the ball to save his life, but that's such a fixable thing. Like, and the athlete that he is not a coachable thing, like, whatsoever. So I really, really like his odds of blowing up if he gets that kind of work.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that backfield shakes out, because we talked about it in one of our draft recap episodes, and going over all the all seasons. Like, if I could bet on one position, one team drafting a running back in this upcoming class, it would have been the Jaguars. And the fact that they walked out without one, even just a random flyer, was just so bizarre to me. And now they have this very awkward room of Tutten and Rodriguez, and it feels like you're either very pro Rodriguez is going to be the guy, or you're very pro Tutten. It's like no one has a single idea what it's going to look like, and it's pretty scary from a fantasy perspective. But also, it's just if you're a Jaguars fan, like presumably you're downgrading pretty massively here. So it's kind of scary hours right now. But if Tutten is able to kind of be what a lot of people thought he might be early in his rookie season and going into last year, then I think he's got a better chance than Rodriguez does to be more than what we expect. But my breakout running back, this is going to be like an oxymoron, but I'm going with David Montgomery. And I get he's 30, but hear me out. Hear me out. Montgomery is going from playing kind of in the shadow of Jahmyr Gibbs and serving his purpose to filling a massive need on a Texans team that was desperate for this type of presence. And the Texans were a hysterical team to watch anytime they got into a short yardage or goal line situation. It was like, good luck getting in the end zone. You were better off staying at the 12-yard line because they are not scoring from here. And with the offensive line upgrades on the interior with McDonald and Wyatt Teller, we're looking at Rutledge, not McDonald. We're looking at an improvement inside and then a running back that actually provides some physical presence. And I don't think, like, watching the film per se, we're going to be like, man, David Montgomery's running like he's 24. But from a perception standpoint, from a statistical standpoint, I think this could be one of his best seasons. And we're looking at like a 14, 15 touchdown year from a guy like Montgomery because he's filling such a massive need, and there's no one else there that is going to be taking those touches away from him. So I could see a sub 800 yard year with like 15, 16 touchdowns, and he could be the perception could be different, I guess, is kind of where I'm at.
Into the red zone in order for someone to be a red zone threat.
I think they will. The Texans are going to be good this year. I have faith.
I think they'll be improved.
I think they'll be better. Stroud just can't be a bozo. All you have to do is be less than a bozo of what you were last year. And I think it's very hard to beat the bozo level of football he was playing last year.
It gets better, hopefully,
I'm
but
scared about Stroud right now.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look comfortable or poised or like all the stuff that we liked from him his rookie year hasn't. We needed to see progress in the pocket presence. We needed to see progress. We needed to see the accuracy maintained, and that's kind of taken a step back. And it's like, this is the guy that makes you a little bit worried about Drake May's future, right? Is the way that Stroud has progressed so far. But I think May is more accurate than Stroud was, and I don't know. I have a lot of concerns about Stroud right now. So maybe it does work out. I see your vision. I think he's a massive upgrade over what they had. All hail Nick Chubb. But, may his knees rest in peace, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, we're not watching Woody Marks, brother.
thank God.
Right.
Thank God.
Right.
So, I totally get your vision. I think he's a massive upgrade there. But I do have worries just about the offense as a whole still.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think on paper you're probably looking at like his second or third best year ever. He had that one year that was like north of 1K and 13 rushing touchdowns. Like he had some years where he was like a genuine beast, and I think he's still good. I think he's still a very good running back. Mm-hmm. Just like, I am curious what his like statistical ceiling could look like as like a 29-year-old well-used power back.
I mean, Joe Mixon, was like 28-ish
Mm-hmm.
when he last played for Houston, and he had almost 1,100, and he had 1,011 touchdowns. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we could be looking at a similar stat line for Montgomery. And like breakout, maybe is a strong word, but I'm looking through the list of guys. I'm like, I don't know, dog. It's kind of like I was kind of trying to find a unique angle, but also one I believed in, and I came across Montgomery, and
I believe in him.
So, but this is the fun part, the regression. Let's talk the regression. This is the part where we can argue, and it's funny.
How far out am I allowed to project my regression? Can it be indefinite? Like at some point.
Derrick Henry at some point, yeah.
No, not Derrick Henry.
It's an interesting question. I would say within the next 2 seasons. I would say
mine was just this year specifically, but I think if you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, there's no confines on this one.
This is the stay hot evil guy. It's mostly Theo and I at this point, but DeAndre Swift, dude. I'm so sick of watching this. Like, I get no joy from watching like the most budget version of Christian McCaffrey or like he's a receiving back and that's cool and he's a little bit shifty, but he's not like good at finding space. He's not good at breaking tackles. He's just not particularly great at anything. He's not a particularly great route runner. Like I'm just, it's hard for me to fall in love with anything DeAndre Swift does. Yet he keeps having these 1,000-yard seasons.
He was good last year.
He was
good. He was good.
That was his best ball.
Ben Johnson had him running straight more than I've ever seen in his life.
He had him. That was his best ball. I still feel
annoying because I'm like,
it
you
was
haven't
good.
played like this ever.
I'm a longtime hater. I used to think that he was like the worst running back to be put on this planet, but like he has improved. I was a hater when he went to Philly and did well. I'm like, yeah, so could fucking Boston Scott. Like, congrats.
He is Boston Scott.
No, come on.
Yeah,
All
I mean,
I'm just like not. It's like, look, he's efficient. Like it shows up. Like I get it works, but like it shouldn't stop working.
he's due to regress. I think next year, maybe this coming year he might be fine. The year after that, I think we're done with Swift.
It's like it might still be okay this year, but I do feel like they might drop back more this year. We saw a lot of success from Caleb, especially late in the year. Things really started to click. Colston Loveland is amazing. Luther Burden is really good. Like they've got guys to get the football to where they don't have to force feed DeAndre Swift anymore. It's okay. We can go somewhere else.
It sounds like he's going to be running more routes, and then he's going to show that side of his game more. It's going to be the opposite of what you're saying. He's going to
pure hate watch. I'm just like I cannot stand DeAndre Swift.
Hey, everyone has a guy like that. You have to. There's no way you watch football and you don't have a guy like that.
Yeah.
Austin, who's your guy?
I think I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor, and it's not even his fault, like at all. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. This is a Colts problem. It's a Colts problem, and it's a coming off of a lot of touches. It's coming off of a passing offense that I don't think will be able to be nearly as efficient as they were last year, and I think that he's gonna be back to seeing more of those 8-man boxes that are just pummeling at his knees all day long. Like, it's not even a him problem at all. I think the world of Jonathan Taylor as a talent. But, like, in his environment, I think he's going to be throwing a lot of volume again. I don't think it'll be all that creative. And I don't think their passing offense is going to be nearly as good as it was to, like, help him out. So, I don't think we're getting an MVP candidate again. Still good, though.
I kind of just want to get into the top 12 running, but I want to hear where you have Jonathan Taylor ranked.
Well, my rankings are talent based, not what I think they're going to produce. But I think production wise, he's going to be down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you might still like where I have him.
Daniel Jones is fine. He's healthy. He's gonna be
he's dead.
Okay, I promise. Please. I was the only Daniel Jones fan on earth going into last year.
And then they got rid of.
And you will be the only Daniel Jones fan on earth.
And they got rid of Pittman, and they just brought in Nick Westbrook-Akine as if it was like the same thing.
That's honestly low key like.
Stop.
Like if you used Westbrook-Akine in
Don't
the
do
same
this.
with the same route tree, like you could get decent results.
Treadwell, it's okay.
Yes.
Like Nick Westbrook-Akine was in like one of the most depleted receiver rooms of all time last year, and still somehow like didn't find like anything in there.
That was Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see your vision. I think this definitely is production related.
Like I think we're dropping like I just don't think we're getting 1,518. Like I think if we even if we drop it 200 yards and 8 touchdowns.
So you are a Daniel Jones fan, indirectly.
No, I'm a Jonathan Taylor fan.
No, you got
I love Jonathan Taylor. Cave knows I defended him.
We're getting the LaDainian Tomlinson 2006.
Yeah. Not wrong. Just a little early.
Well, my regression candidate is in the same vein. It's Saquon. I feel like
Regression.
Saquon is going into his age 29 season. In 2025, he had 346 carries after including they did make the playoffs this year. 346 carries in 2025, which would rank 4th in the NFL. And then the year before that, he had. Did I write this down wrong? Why am I? No, the year before that, he had 482. So this is back-to-back years of top 5 level volume as far as touches go. He led the league in 2024. 2025, like I said, he was top 4, including the postseason. And his yards after contact just was awful. And I get that's not really his game. He's a lot more of a dancer, pretty spin moves, jumping over people. But at some point, that athleticism leaves you. And I think we're reaching a point we're reaching a cross-section of age and contact and like volume and the abuse he's taken, that it just, when that athleticism, that step he has just goes away, the power I don't feel like is there to make up for it, and it could get ugly. I mean, he ranked 30th amongst 48 rushers in rushing yards over expected per carry last year. He was 42nd in qualifying rushers in success rate as far as running rushers go, and obviously those things are contextually balanced, but still, like, you're coming off of 2 seasons with an unbelievable amount of touches, and back to the whole, like, what do we got going on with the Eagles offense and the offensive line? Stoutland's gone. He was calling run plays, and I think it could get even darker than it already is. So I don't want it to, but it's scary.
I think he's still got the athleticism. He hasn't shown the athletic decline, I don't think, yet.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's kind of the same thing with Henry, where I'm just like, I'm not going to call it until I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
That's
the
fair.
first time in his career, though, he's made it through 2 seasons fully healthy. And I also feel like that's a bit of an anomaly. It's kind of like the rabbit holding the clock and pointing to it. Like, it's coming, buddy. Like, at the time, it feels like the time. It's just historically speaking with Saquon and his ankle bones and his knees. It just.
Yeah, but he's playing on the MetLife turf far less these days.
That is true. He's only got it like 2, maybe 3 times a year now.
And you
That
can
is
win
true.
those games if you really wanted to. It's the
Yeah, I mean that is fair because that turf definitely is cursed. But I don't know. We're reaching an age climax with a lot of touches these last couple of years. It's kind of getting scary. His yards after contact per attempt is in Pacheco range, which is bad.
Patullo's fault.
bad.
It's Patullo's fault.
No. Yards after contact is more a pure running back stat than anything else. I think as far as like.
Not listening.
As far as any number you can pull from a running back, that is I feel like that's the most pure statistic you could look at to help determine something.
It's certainly more running back centric, but I think the types of contact that you get are impacted by the play calling and by the rest of the team, right? It's kind of the same thing with Genty, right? Genty's yards after contact suck because he gets contacted and then he gets contacted again and then he gets contacted again.
No momentum. Like,
Yeah,
he just gets hit behind the line.
You get hit once and you go down right away. Like, that's concerning. But if you get hit 4 times, it's a different level. And I think that's harder to work around, and that's kind of hard to quantify also.
I mean, even Genty though, like Genty was, I feel like 3 yards after contact is kind of like the like baseline of average, and even Genty was at what 3 point overs. Yeah, like
Kyron Williams.
he still figured it out. Like, you just kind of do. Like, McCaffrey really isn't doing that anymore, and Saquon really doesn't seem to have that juice anymore. Even Gibbs is down here, dog. Don't get me started. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's Alvin Kamara, Bam Knight. Shout out Bam Knight. Also.
Shout out.
Shout out Bam Knight.
Saquon, Nick Chubb, Tyron Tracy, Kareem Hunt, Aaron Jones.
Hearing some Pro Bowlers on this list. Don't ask the year, but like we got some studs on here.
Nick Chubb, shout out.
Yeah.
That's my pure runner greatest of all time.
Greatest of
He
all
is the GOAT.
time.
This is true.
Saquon and Nick Chubb sitting pretty next to each other on this
In the
list.
big-
So
They are both beautiful.
Just saying. Well,
Maybe.
let's get into the top 12 then, because this, I think, could be very, very interesting. And Austin, I think I want to hear where your list goes because I feel like
Deal.
this has a chance to be very abstract.
I hope not. I have number 1, Bijan Robinson. Number 2, Jahmyr Gibbs. 3, I have Derrick Henry. 4, Saquon Barkley. 5, Jonathan Taylor.
Too low.
6, I have Devon Achane. 7, James Cook. 8, Ashton Genty. 9, Kenneth Walker. 10, Christian McCaffrey. 11, Kyron Williams. 12, Josh Jacobs. But I made this before all that. So I might have to replace Josh Jacobs with somebody. You know what? Give Judkins his spot. Make it cool.
Okay.
Give Judkins his spot. He'll be up. He'll be putting up Josh Jacobs numbers here soon.
I don't think there was anything too out of the ordinary on that
There's
list.
a couple of things I'm raising my eyebrow at. I think you might.
Let's hear it.
I think you might have Ken Walker a little too low, but I think you might have Jonathan Taylor a little too low. I've got Bijan at 1, Jonathan Taylor at 2, Jahmyr Gibbs at 3, Saquon at 4, Derrick Henry at 5, K9 at 6, Achane at 7, Genty at 8, Jeremiah Love at 9, James Cook at 10. I'll put McCaffrey at 11. And then because I talked myself into this, I'm going to put Bucky Irving at 12.
Okay.
I had
Why not?
I had Kyron Williams originally, but I'm like, I
Get
like
him out. Get him out. Get Kyron out of there. I like that line of thought.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had Love in there. I am somebody that, historically speaking, I'm like, they got to play a snap first, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Played in college.
yeah. Like,
fantastic running back.
I do think, to some degree, that's true. But if you really think someone is that good, I think it's justifiable. Like, last year, I wasn't one of those with Genty. This year, with Love, I am. I feel like
Can he hoop?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he play basketball?
Probably does. I'm sure he does.
He better not be. He's going to get hurt.
Occasionally.
Exactly.
Don't get hurt.
You ever
I
seen
think
the
that's-
Puka spin move? It's nasty.
The who?
The Puka spin move with the basketball, he's so nasty.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Keon Coleman, first overall in the NFL
Ew.
basketball draft.
Ugh.
If we were to do one. Or Myles Garrett.
You're not getting a board.
Well, my list, I'm kind of scared. 1, I have Bijan. 2, I have Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
3, I have Devon Achane. 4, I have James Cook. 5, I have Derrick Henry.
Okay.
6, I have Jahmyr Gibbs. 7, I have Jeremiah Love. 8, I have Ken Walker. 9, I have Saquon. 10, I have Genty. 11 is CMC. And I put Chase Brown at 12. Respect Chase Brown.
No, I won't do it.
Respect Chase Brown. Come on.
We gotta talk about Achane at 3.
We gotta talk about Achane because this is
I
a
love
running back
Achane.
that is he's gotten this label of being just a straight line fast runner. This guy is physical, man. Nobody gives him credit for how physical he is, and he plays with he's got such a high floor for big runs, but also he's proven he can handle a beating between the tackles, which prior to these last 2 years, no one would have thought was possible, especially given he got hurt early on and the red carpets he had rolled out for him, like against Denver 3 or 4 years ago or whatever. Like, we just didn't think he was anything more than like maybe a Keaton Mitchell type of back. But now we see a guy that is bowling ball level contact balance, but also has the speed comparable to Gibbs, and he's running fade routes out of the slot, and he's running dig routes, and he's great after the catch. Like, there's nothing he doesn't do well.
I give him props. I know Aaron Brewer is kind of the GOAT, but being efficient behind Jonas Avenaya is also
It's
a
unbelievable.
feat in
what
itself,
he's
dude.
dealt- what
It's a
he's
feat in
dealing with.
itself.
You could easily, the way that we kind of give Gibbs grace because of what he dealt with the interior last year and how things looked really ugly toward the end of the season, it's like he catches a break. But HN, to a certain degree, was dealing with that all year. He hasn't had a great offensive line or really any breaks since his rookie year helping him out too much. But he's been the engine to this offense to a level that I don't think you can say Gibbs has, and it's been bad the whole time. So what is it about Gibbs that's always putting him in these conversations that Achane doesn't deserve to be a part of? I don't know. I can't find it. I can't find a reason.
Gibbs is faster and quicker.
I'd say he's quicker. I think straight line.
I think
speed,
he's faster.
I think
Gibbs accelerates in a way that nobody else in the league does. It's very reminiscent of prime Tyreek Hill, where he would catch a crosser and then he would burn every angle imaginable. That is what Gibbs does at the second level, and it's something that I don't quite think. Like, Achane is ridiculously fast, but to be able to kind of pace and have this tempo in between the tackles, and then as soon as you get past the linebacker, to drop gears and immediately you're at top speed, it's mind-blowing to see how he moves. And so, like, his foot speed is ridiculous. It is probably the best in the league. On top of, like, he also has really good contact balance. Maybe not. He's not like Jonathan Taylor level good at that, But I do think Gibbs is better. I think Achane's great. Achane's really. I used to be really low on Achane, but he's starting to grow on me. I mean, he was the most efficient running back in football last year.
Yeah.
I think Gibbs, if you flip-flop their situations, I think you get similar production from Achane, but I think Gibbs suffers a bit more than Achane did. And I just don't think Gibbs has the receiving repertoire and tool belt that Achane has. I think similarly, you could throw them a bunch of screens, you could throw them a bunch of dump-offs, and Gibbs is probably going to do a little bit more after the catch, but Achane was asked to be a legitimate receiver pretty frequently that I don't think Gibbs would be able to keep up with. And to some extent, it's like, yeah, there's some fantasy bloat because of how much people talked about him for those reasons, but he was getting used in capacities that running backs don't and shouldn't have to be used in, and he was maintaining the efficiency.
Gibbs has a higher yards per route run. He had more targets, more catches, more yards.
We're talking much different. There's still different offenses going on here. There's a lot of factors that play into it. It's like
we're box score watching, big dog.
I think Achane deserves a lot more respect, and it made me kind of realize it's like while Gibbs has that game-breaking speed, and I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of what really pops out is like the way he's able to throttle, change direction, and twitch, like, and just basically flip the entire field. That's something that not really anybody else can do. But we saw what happened when he was asked to get really physical with heavier boxes without the blocking in front of him. Like, it got dark pretty damn fast, like really fast actually. And I think those are things that Achane didn't deal with to that capacity, but deals with more frequently and does a lot more with. So, I don't know. I think there's some...
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs ruined my life.
I know Matt is a huge Achane fan, and I think he would have put him in the top 5 if he didn't think he would have gotten plastered and people would have ripped his legs off.
Yeah, I don't know. And same thing with Cook. I feel like Cook is a guy that I think is such a slippery and sudden runner that it's very impressive. Though I think he's obviously gifted with a scheme and a front 5 that gives him the opportunity to move the way he can, but there are just cuts that he makes and sudden direction changes that I've seen from him that are just like ridiculous, and it's not something that the average running back can do like at all. So, and that's kind of the Jonathan Taylor stuff. Like Jonathan Taylor, the way he's able to change direction and the suddenness he runs with, like him, they're not the same running back, but I see a lot of similarities in the way they get out of like very sticky phone booth situations. Like they are able to slip out of these things so easily that I just don't think a lot of guys can. So I had them up there for that reason primarily.
Respect that.
Jeremiah Love, I think, deserves to be up here too. I will say that.
I kind of just forgot about him, but like, yeah, I would take him over CMC and Kyron and whoever else I named back there.
Right,
Like
but you would
he'd be
rather
pushing top
have
10.
Jeremiah Love.
Yes, like I think when I get to like James Cook, Genti, that's where I start having questions and conversations. But like, I think he's right behind that, like right around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that will put a cap on all of our categories. So if you guys have any final thoughts, this is your time to get them out now. If anybody has anything else.
Not a one.
All right. So we will call it there. If you guys enjoyed, definitely make sure you like, comment, sharing, subscribing. Blaiden, thank you again so much for joining us. This was an absolute blast, dude. Thank you so
for
much.
having me.
Yeah, it was a great time. So definitely go check out all of Blaiden's content, all of Stay Hot's content down in the description. It will all be linked down there. And if you enjoyed, like I said, comment, share, follow, subscribe, do all that shit. And we will see you in episode 115.